Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm here with Paul Hubbard, a volunteer advisor, and Javier Lopez. He's public relations representative from Leverett Bay Poker Run. Welcome to Spotlight. Good to have you both.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yes. I've heard about the Poker Run every year. How old is the Poker Run now?
14 years, sir.
14 years.
Yes.
Right.
It started back in 2002.
Okay. But I never understood what the Poker Run was about. I know it involved boats and cards, or some kind of game. But I never really paid attention to the extent that I actually understood what was happening. So this is a good opportunity for me to learn about it.
Sure. First of all, I want to thank the British Virgin Island Tourist Board and the British Virgin Island government for this opportunity to be here with some great people on TV, talking about what I consider to be the biggest and the greatest nautical event in the entire British Virgin Islands, and probably one of the biggest in the entire Caribbean. It's a fun event. It's just an excuse to go out with your family and enjoy a beautiful day in the water, visiting 5 different stops, and having a chance of winning a hand of poker. Basically, the Poker Run, first of all, is not a race. It has never been a race. It's an event that you have an opportunity or an excuse to buy a hand, to get a wristband, and go from Leverett Bay to Jaguar Harbor View Marina to Scaramouche at the Super Hall, going back to Norman Island, Bites, Pirates, going back to Virgin Gorda Yacht Harbor at Rendezvous Bar, and then going back to Leverett Bay. On each stop, you will get out your boat with your wristband, you will make a line, and you will randomly pick up a card, and then you have a chance of getting a straight flush or a good poker hand. And the important thing is that you have a chance of winning big. But the most important thing about the Poker Run is not about the buying a hand, or it's a charitable event, and every year we raise a lot of money for different entities through the Virgin Gorda Charitable Trust. And this Poker Run is very special because this year we will donate money to help finish the building of the Olympic pool that they're building in Virgin Gorda for many years now. And it's all about giving back to the community. That's basically what the Poker Run is. And also, the event has helped the territory with the bringing a lot of people, another international fame and another international exposure. 3 years ago, we were showcased in CNN nationwide, and it's very good for the community, very good for the tourism of the islands, knowing that these islands they rely heavily on tourism, and it's just a fun event. It takes place on what I consider to be the most beautiful place in Earth, the British Virgin Islands. You cannot have it better than that.
So you get tourists from or participants from in the region or just in the BVI?
Basically, most of the participants are locals. It actually has become a national holiday, I must say. Every year we have more and more participants from the community, from your own community here in the British Virgin Islands. But because of the exposure that the event is having outside of the territory, we are getting more and more boats from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, U.S. Virgin Islands, a lot of us from U.S. Virgin Islands, San Martin, San Barts, and some boats from the States. Even 2 or 3 years ago, we have boats all the way from Canada. And yes, so the numbers are pretty much 85%, 80 to 85% local boats, and then we always get 15-20% boats from outside. So, for example, this year we are expecting 75 boats from Puerto Rico, given that the fuel is 25% less than last year. So they will be able to, afford, taking.
So how many boats total you have this year?
We expect 230 boats. 230 boats
230
in
boats.
total,
So
more or less.
you're getting a larger percentage from Puerto Rico than you've gotten in the past.
Yes, every year we have more boats from Puerto Rico. It's just that the word of mouth among the fellow boaters in Puerto Rico, and they always go back after experiencing these 3 days of fun and culminating in Laverick Bay with a big festivities.
A big party?
Models, we have a model contest that Mr. Nice Guy put together every year, and fireworks, small fireworks, just festivities. We announce the winners, and we have music, live music, bands. It's very well organized by Mr. Nick Willis, and they go back to Puerto Rico, and they put it on the social media, and with the help of social media and
You get a lot of publicity?
yes, a lot of publicity,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So each stop, you have what, 5 stops?
Yes, sir.
5 stops. So each stop has its own activities, its own
That's the
parties,
fun of
its
it.
own fun.
That's the fun of it, because every local business that participate in the poker run, first of all, for us, we always thank every one of these stops. They all have the opportunity of putting a show together, because it's a great publicity for them. As they will expect 200 and plus boats, they have to stop there. So they put live music. They dress their best. They prepare. They all have their shirts with the sign, with the
Their
logos.
logos, yeah.
And they
And it's all a bunch of teams like
exactly,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they have, and it's a great opportunity for, Scaramouche this year. They're gonna do it for the first time. Jaguar Harvey B Marina, they did it. This is the second year that they done it. And Pirates, they done it every year. That's where they do the big launch, and they all, they are very happy of being
So
part of this event.
how do you enter as a boat owner? How do you enter the poker run?
It's very important that you arrive as early as possible to Laverick Bay Marina on this coming Sunday.
So it's this Sunday.
It's
the
this
poker run.
Sunday. You try to arrive around 8:30, 9, because it's a lot of boats. And I implore you to please buy a hand. If you don't buy a hand, you don't have a chance of winning, or it's more fun if you do.
How much is the hand?
$250.
And how much you win if you win?
It depends, because the way it works is the more hands we buy, the more hands we sell, the more money goes to the prizes, because we always have to a percentage that goes to charity, prizes, and covering our expense.
Okay.
And of course, we also rely on sponsors. That every year we get more and more sponsors, and so you can win from 10,000 to 18 to 20,000 for first prize. It depends on how many hands we sold.
The number of participants, how big the pot is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it's very important. And this year we are promoting people to buy hand, because if you don't buy a hand, you're not going to be allowed to be part in the start because of the safety issues. And it's just fun. We have great prizes, great surprises, but you have to buy a hand. And
Well,
if you buy a hand, you
mu-
put money back to the community.
How much the prize was last year? How big was it last year?
If I remember well, I would believe it was 10,000 for
10,000.
the first prize.
Okay, and what percentage of that goes to charity?
To charity, like I say, it depends, because the event organizer, they have to cover their expense, such as the helicopter, paying for security, so on and so forth. So it could go from 25% to 30% to charity, more or less, after covering your expense. But this year we have good sponsors. We know we're gonna have a good turnout.
This is the most boats you ever had.
So far, but we never know until Sunday. I mean, so many things can happen, weather-wise or something, But from what I've been seeing on the charts, the weather is going to be very good. So we are expecting a big turnout.
Okay.
And so yes, we are expecting.
How many boats you had last year? You remember?
It was 192.
Okay, so you got 40. You expect about 40 more.
That's
boats.
the tendency that
Yeah.
we have seen through the years. I've been helping with the event as a collaborator, as a portrait relation agency. I work for Laverick Bay, and over the years we are seeing an increase of 15-20%, and then after CNN we took a big jump. So
So have you invited international media this year?
Yes,
come?
we have the biggest cable company in Puerto Rico, Liberty Cable Company, that are coming to cover the poker run. We have CBS Puerto Rico, and we have One Caribbean that are also coming to cover the entire event. And every year we put a press release out and we send it to the US, ESPN, CNN, hoping that they will show us, that we will be showcasing this on these international big media outlets for the good of the people, for the good of the BBI, and for the good of what the event gives back to the community, which is the most important thing.
Okay. Paul, sorry to keep you waiting so long.
That's quite all right. Thanks.
He mentioned, Javier mentioned safety, and I think, I don't know, last year we had an accident?
There was an accident.
There was an accident last year, that's what I recall. Yeah. They haven't been too serious, the accidents.
The accident last year, there were no fatalities.
Right.
But it was still quite a serious accident. I mean, two boats collided due to a mechanical failure, which can happen at any time. You know, there's no way you can predict that, but there are things that you can do that if it does happen, it won't cause such a serious accident, like keeping a distance from a boat, making sure that the captain or the driver of the boat is wearing his kill cord, so if he's thrown from the vessel, the engines will stop. Everybody wearing life jackets, of course, will help. So there are things that people can do.
So you have do you have a safety sheet?
Yes, sir.
You have
on their website, they have a list of safety
we
regulations.
have the safety
and
sheet on the
rules,
website. We are distributing that safety sheet. We're putting it in the newspaper. It's going to be distributed to every participant. And this year, and there's a little thing that I was explaining to Paul. You can help me with that. About taking the boats out after the reef, and once they're out, you can. And then, basically, what we're doing this year, we are going to have a base boat, and we're going to heavily enforce this. And to all the community, it's very important that you follow the rules. And there's going to be a base boat. The start is not going to happen inside the North Sound. The start is going to happen outside the North Sound when we are in open waters. It's very important that you follow this space boat. This space boat is going to have 2 orange flags on the back. Once the space boat is outside of the reef between Mosquito and Prickly Pear, then the space boat is going to go take a right, starboard side, and then checker flags are going to go up, and then everyone can leave. This helps the boats to spread, and is safer.
So you get out of the harbor, you get out of the enclosed environment where you have yachts and dinghies and other traffic.
Yeah. And he said the boat's going to be more spread out.
So
what's happened in previous years is when the event was smaller, they started in the North Sound, so the boats were closer together. As the events got bigger and bigger and bigger, more boats are starting in the same amount of space, so they're closer together.
But now they're going to have more prone for accidents.
Of course, if boats are close together. And going fast, and you mentioned it before, Javier, that it's not a race. It doesn't matter whether you're the first boat or the last boat. If you've got the winning poker hand,
it's a matter of
in a dinghy.
You can row around the event and still win the event.
Yeah.
You know,
is there a time limit? I mean, it starts at what, 8?
The actual events are 11, but from 8 we start doing the registration. We do at the captain's meeting. We explain the rules to everyone. That's going to be in the dock. But usually we expect the boats to start coming back after 4:30, and by 5:30 all the boats should be in, all the cars should be in. All the cars, every one of the stations, we have a computer system where we match the number of the car with the number of your wristband on a computer system. So before you get into Laverick Bay, we already have an idea on the winning hands.
Oh, okay.
It's a very sophisticated system that will, it's no cheating, nothing. It's impossible to do so. This year is very important, special because Lime, which is one of their biggest sponsors, they are basically offering a 7th hand. So we always have 6 hands, like a wild card, but now you're gonna be able to go to the Lime booth and get a 7th hand. Which give you a little bit more of an opportunity to win big prizes. It's going to be fun. Of course, safety is always an issue. We are so blessed to have BSAR with us every year after year. the BBI Marine Police, the government, the security, the BBI Tourist Board has done wonders to help us promote the safety. And like I was last year for me was kind of like shocking, because you don't never want to see an event that you are collaborating, someone gets hurt, and then I remember someone came to me and say, Javi, you could have your kid on a baseball game and it gets hit by a ball. The accidents always happen, and it doesn't matter if it's a volleyball game, a bowling game, you can hurt an ankle or something. But if we are with people, it's professional people like Visa that help us, look for ways to take the boat out so they can spread more, that helps. Life jackets, it's mandatory. This year is very important that we said the event organizers refuse to take any alcohol beverage sponsors, because we don't want to promote drinking and driving a boat. And I know the BBI police is going to be enforcing the 0.8 rule of not drinking and driving a boat. All the captains are not going to be allowed to drink. It's very important. It's just because of safety. We want to keep everyone safe in the water. So this year, instead of getting a beer, we got Fiji water as our official sponsor. So let's drink some water, have fun obey your officials, and just have a great
I don't
fun day.
want to disappoint you, Javier, but no beer is not. It's going to be a problem.
Well, no,
You're gonna have a designated driver.
of course,
You have a
driving
designated
that's
driver,
important.
so that everybody else
the
have
captain,
fun. Yeah,
the captain should be
sober.
exactly. He's responsible for all the life on board.
Yeah.
So
We gotta take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk more about the safety issue. We want to get Paul involved in telling us the rules of the poker run, the safety rules, what you need to have on board, what you need to have to be a captain. I think is important as well, because you won't have me as a captain. I never driven a boat before. We're gonna be right back after these words from our sponsors with more of the poker run coming up on Sunday. Keep it locked right here to Spotlight.
Spotlight is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands and CCT Global Communications.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm here with Paul Hubbard. He's a volunteer with Visar, as well as Javier Lopez. He's the public relations officer at Lerwick Bay, and we're talking about the upcoming poker run, and that's on Sunday at Lerwick Bay. So all boats head for Lerwick Bay. Be there at around 8 o'clock in the morning.
yes, sir.
Registration is going to start. Everybody's going to buy a hand or two, as many as they feel like.
The
right?
more they buy, the better chance they have.
Yes. And then around 11 o'clock, Paul, you're going to start the show.
We're not going to start the show.
No?
But we'll be on call if we're needed.
Okay.
But before the 11 o'clock start, there's a captain's meeting at 10 o'clock, I believe, that is important for the captains to attend. This is when any safety rules, any changes to the course, anything that the captains really need to know to be able to compete in the event safely, they'll be told about.
Okay. So when you say change the course,
Something might happen on the day, but that's going to be the latest information.
if you're going from Lerwick Bay, what's the first stop?
JY Harborview Marina at the east end of Tortola.
Okay. There's no particular way that you have to go there.
No, not really, but I mean,
but you want to go. You want to go.
But you want to be with everyone wants to be with all the boats. That's it for fun.
But you want to be with a group, hanging
group
out
of
nearby,
boats, yes.
looking at each other in the boats.
And waving at the helicopter, the guy.
Waving to the helicopter, taking pictures,
photos
and
the video,
having fun.
And so now, for safety reasons, what has to be done coming out of Lerwick Bay to ensure that there is safety?
There's going to be a couple of pacing boats with flags as markers. So nobody is allowed to go beyond those boats until they've given the signal for the start.
You're going to have two abreast, one behind the other.
You're going to have two boats out.
Yeah,
right?
two boats out, One is going to be the official boat with 2 orange flags, and that board is going to be supported by a flotilla of official boats that are going to be basically covering the front of the pact. And those boats are going to go at 5 to 8 knots out. Once we are clear the reef, then it is the official boat who's going to give the start. No one will be allowed to pass the official boat. If you pass the official boat, you would immediately be disqualified from the event.
And how the boats are going to follow? Are they going to follow one behind the other in a straight line, or
Exactly.
2 together?
That's kind of up to the boats, but it's important that people pick a running lane and go in that direction. What we don't want is boats in front of other boats, or making sharp movements where they could potentially have a collision.
What about having 5, 6 boats side by side? Is that a problem? That's okay.
There's enough space between them. Yeah, it's okay.
So you're not regulating to that extent.
Common sense really prevails.
Okay.
You don't want to be driving boats next to each other.
And then once you get out beyond a certain point, then the pace boats give the flag, you check a flag, and then you could accelerate and you head for your first.
You can accelerate safely. If the conditions allow a little bit of speed, that's okay. But you're doing that near other boats. You don't want to be doing it when you're coming into a harbour or a marina. And if there are waves or wakes, obviously, the boat captain should be driving the boat in a responsible manner.
Yeah. And do you going to make sure that boats have designated captains? Because one of the things that you talk about, Javier, is drinking and driving the boat, but persons are going to want to have to drink because drinking is part of the fun. So
they can have a drink after the event. As you've said, there's a big party. I've been up to Leverick Bay at the party. It's a great event, and people can have a drink there.
Especially the captains. The captains, we encourage the captains not to be drinking.
You're encouraging the captains not to be drinking.
Not to be drinking.
Well, you've said it will be enforced.
It will be enforced as well.
The
BVI police will this year.
So you have breathalyzers on the spot.
Yes, we will have breathalyzers on the spot.
Oh, okay, that's.
It's just that we are taking very serious the safety issues. As the event grows, it is our responsibility, with the help of the government and the BVI Tourist Board and the officials such as BSAR, to basically come together and take measures that we can have even a bigger event. But the bigger it is, the more safe we have to be, and we have to enforce those rules. And it's for the good of the community.
What equipment the boats have to have? Any specific equipment the boats must have on it in order for to fit within the safety rules?
Well, one of the most important things is everybody on board should have their own life jacket, and it should be worn. It's not good just saying the life jackets are on the boat somewhere. They should be worn, because they're no good being in a locker. If you go overboard, the thing that's going to save your life is a life jacket, and everybody should have their own. So that's very important. There should also be VHF radios on board, and obviously the captain should probably know how to use it, but everybody on board should know how to call for help as well. Okay. Cell phones, there should be cell phones on board, and people should know the emergency numbers. As you had the EMS on a few moments ago, they talked about the 911 and 999, and you can get hold of Virgin Islands Search and Rescue by calling those numbers, but the fastest way is to call 767, which if you look at the numbers and the letters on a keypad, is SOS. So it's easy to remember. So if you're out there and you forget what Visor's number is, if you dial 767, which is SOS, you get straight through to Visor.
Okay. Any other? And there's the what you call that?
The kill cord. Yeah, it sounds a little bit ominous, but it's a safety thing.
Okay. So you have to make sure you have that hooked on, so that when you if you're thrown,
yes,
in the event of going overboard, you kill the engine.
The engine stops and the boat stops.
The boat
and
stops.
that should be worn by the captain.
Okay.
So if the captain goes overboard.
And of course that means that the propellers are not turning, and the likelihood of
the engine stops, everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and otherwise, if everyone gets overboard and the boat's going, it could just keep going and going and going with nobody on board until it runs out of gas. Yeah. So they lose their boat as well.
As well, yeah. And any particular way that persons need to be driving when they go into their destinations? The distance boats should keep from each other. Everybody knows that. I don't know anything about boats.
Okay.
I'm a total dummy. when it comes to boats.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out how, if there's any
Yeah.
safety
It
involved
depends
in
on the
traveling,
condition- depends
in
on the
traveling together.
conditions.
But everybody knows, everybody's got the sense. All the boaters know they have a sense of the distance they should stay from each other and
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a
And
safe distance.
Okay. Any other safety things that they need to know?
I think something that people very often do is when the boat's underway is they like to show themselves off, shall we say. So if there's a sun deck or say the bow of the boat, people, especially the girls, will get on the front, be waving at the other boats, waving at the helicopter. But of course, if you're at a part of the boat that's quite exposed and you do hit a rough wave, you can very easily be thrown overboard. So
Yes.
people should be in the boat safely, so that if you do hit a wave, you're not going to be bouncing around.
You're discouraging riding up on a deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's easy to fall overboard.
Yeah,
you know.
going at that rate, and depends on the waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So you should be
dangerous.
in a safe part of the boat. And also, boats are designed to carry a certain number of people. So boats shouldn't be overloaded, because that can affect how the boat performs, how it handles the waves, how it handles the conditions.
Is that something you're going to be checking for? I mean, because I have seen some boats and
Very
and
overcrowded, yeah.
in the films that you've shown, and I mean you show some really exciting films because
Yeah.
it shows over and over again. Every time you see it, it's exciting. But you see a lot of people in one boat and they're all waving and standing up, and the boat is going really fast. That seems to me like to be a dangerous situation. Are you going to be enforcing how many the amount of persons that could be in each boat, or are you just going to let everybody use their
It's
discretion?
difficult to enforce something like that because every boat is different. And to find out how many people are rated for that boat, you would really have to look at the manufacturer's specifications. But, I mean, it's down to common sense.
You're hoping that persons would use sensible judgment.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anything else we need to know about the safety? Visor's going to be there in the event of an accident.
Visor are always on call. Visor can't be at every water-based event because we're volunteers. So we have jobs and home lives. There's a strong possibility Visor may be out on training during Poker Run, but we can't advocate that Visor will definitely be there. But in the event of an emergency, if Visor are called, then yes, they will be there.
So it's not that you're going to be at Limerick Bay Station or somewhere in between monitoring the situation.
You may see an orange boat with Visor down the side on the day, but we are not officially attending the event, shall we say.
Attending
Yeah.
the- Okay.
Yeah.
It's something very simple, very simple safety things that you can always have take in consideration before you go out. Besides the fact of wear life jackets and so on and so forth, listen to the officials. It's very important that you don't want to be a cowboy and just go ahead of the pack, because we're not going to allow you to do so. We're going to be very strict this year. But another thing is when you go out and all the boats go, just stay in your lane behind the boat you have in front, and don't try to change lane to pass another boat unless you are 100% sure that there's no other boats behind you or to your left or to your right or to your left. Just especially in the beginning, because there's so many boats. Even if the boat ahead of you is going slower than your engines can go, just stay on that lane until all the boats spread, and then safely you'll be able to basically pass from one boat to the other. Also, in the event of an engine failure on the start, it's very important that you tell your crew, if something like that happens, to wave their hand as much as they can, so they alert the boats that are coming behind to take cautions and avoid that boat if the event of an engine failure. For example, if you take those type of measures and you just read the safety rules, you're going to have a hell of a time in the water. It's going to be a hell of an event. It is the biggest nautical event in the entire Caribbean. You're going to be part of history in this 14th edition of the legendary Limerick Bay Poker Run, and you have to be there. So for more information, you can always go to pokerrunbbi.com. All the safety rules are there. The event agenda is there. You can call Limerick Bay. You can call Nick Willis. He's the event organizer and founder. And I'm always going to be there as well, helping with anything that anyone needs, especially all the boats that come from the USBI in Puerto Rico.
Okay, sounds like you're gonna have a really
Should
good
be a
time.
good day, yeah.
It is.
Have a good day.
Everyone is very excited, especially in the islands. And everyone.
Yeah. I had never been. I've never been to a poker run. I don't have any friends with. I mean, I have a few friends with.
I'm sure somebody watching might have a space on their boat.
Yeah, I got.
Maybe we organize as the event. The event committee will organize to come and pick you up and just take you there and put that beautiful life jacket on you.
There you go. Perfect. What an invitation. How you can't turn that down.
That sounds like a deal.
And then you can wave to the helicopter and say hi.
Yeah.
We'll be on television again next year.
Yes, indeed. Well, Javier and Paul, thanks for coming by.
Thank you
Thank you so
having
much
us.
for
I
having
think
us.
we covered everything.
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Yeah. Should be a good day on Sunday.
Be fun. See you all there out there in the water this coming Sunday. Be fun.
Yes.
Buy a hand and be safe.
Yes,
And good luck.
It's $250 for a hand. You could buy as many hands as you want. Come with safety in mind. Get a designated driver so the captain doesn't drink. That way the other people could drink a little bit more because you don't want them to get drunk
Yeah.
either, right?
Wear your life jacket
Wear your life jacket and
have fun.
and have a good time.
and remember 767 SOS.
SOS 767 in the
To
event
call
of any
Visor in
problem.
the event of an emergency. And remember that's all year round. That's not just for poker run.
All year round.
That's Visor all year round.
That's cool. Thanks for coming.
Thank
Great
you.
to have
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you
Thanks.
to everyone.
Good. Next week, the Spotlight is going to focus on a youth empowerment program in the Fat House Bay, Lock area. Its role in the community, how it serves the youth, the benefits that has been derived for young people in that area. It's a very, very thriving program and great director. He's going to be here and we're going to talk about YEP. So make sure that you're here next Tuesday evening. Spotlight, of course, is seen live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. here on JTV Channel 55. And we are rebroadcast every Sunday afternoon at 2:30, same channel. And of course, you can see Spotlight on demand at jtvlive.net. Go to our Facebook page, make sure you like us, make a suggestion for a topic or persons that you want to have interviewed, participate in any discussion that might come up. But make sure you like our Facebook page, Spotlight Facebook page. And I want to thank those of you who have come on and liked it and made comments. And it's kind of interesting and exciting. I really appreciate that. Of course, Edgerenka. And remember that when the spotlight is on, you see the facts. Peace and blessings.
Spotlight is brought to you by Tortola Concrete Limited, the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, and CCT Global Communications.